see. Oh, good, I'm almost done. Hopefully this will let me finish. This is just getting on these laser beams and doing numbers and numbers of exact arms. So I asked them to start in low, finish in low. Tight hands, tight quads, squeeze your rear end, like talk to them like that and get them to activate the muscles. I like the girl in the middle, shoulders the best. Your shoulders should not be in your ears until your arms go over your head. Pressing your shoulders down contracts your chest more. There we go. Okay, now they're going to go ahead. I think they do a 2-footer. Let me see here. Yes, arms overhead, finish, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And when you use lasers or low beams, make sure that you teach your kids that this doesn't mean you can step off any easier than you would if you were in the on the high beam. Then connected, so then there's 2 connected, freeze, freeze, and then they turn and they do 3. So I'm going to keep moving on. I want to talk about event conditioning. So, everybody's struggling with time. So we take all of our physical abilities, and each event is responsible for physical abilities, maybe covering 2, like bars obviously is casting. Our rack is at vault, so they do their leg lifts there. So on beam, we have presses. So I love this. This is one drill, and then we actually do the presses. So at the end of their beam rotation, we'll call out, all right, event conditioning. And this little thing here, especially for older or younger girls that struggle with presses, this works really, really, really good. You can see they have to be pressing down. They have to stay hollow, If they arch, they will go backwards. So the only way that, how kids don't like to lean over on bars or lean over on beam for presses, it really helps get that part right at the beginning where they have to stay on the far side of the beam. And make sure when your kids come in, always teach them toes should be above their knees if possible. The other thing that is conditioning on beam is active flex. So I do love this one. You do this with the front leg and the back leg, and it works on strengthening, especially for your back leg, your rear end, and your hamstring again. So they drop the leg down to the side of the beam, and then they swing it back sharp and tight, and they try to turn it under so that their knee is as much facing the beam as possible, and work hard on trying to keep the posture so good. And you'll be surprised how many kids absolutely cannot do this. Do it with both legs, and then they put their hands in the middle. I want to show you the front leg one. Okay, so then they just switch. Oh no, they're doing another back leg. Now they're doing the front leg. So they switch and they get into this position, a little bit of the seal stretch. Now see her hip flexor, and you know why so many kids can't square is because that hip flexor. So it's kind of a hip flexor stretch right there at the beginning, and then you'll see them lift because sometimes hip flexors are tight. Okay, all right, and then I think most of you probably do this, but I love this for jumps and leaps. We keep this Resi Pit right by beam because we know this is part of the beam training. Do it on both sides, and you can also do it with switch splits up, and you can jump to straddle jumps and so on and so forth. I think I'm getting a message. Okay, let's see. Okay, so just, I know we're going to run out here, but this is a performance set. There's a difference between a performance set and a dance set and a skill set. So a performance set is no acro, no leaps, but you never lose activation from the start to the finish of the performance routine. Never stops. So whether it's jumps or leaps, have them know that they have to stay muscle tension activated. Then your skill sets should include everything that they plan on doing of acro as well as of dance. So it's all in there. And walking in between, make sure that they don't slump over, that they keep activation during these skills. Okay, I'm going to solid there, stop there.